bad managers of Ghana's economy, no doubt at all. I mean, if you look at the level to which President Kufuor took this country, and now we've been downgraded, is it twice? Yeah, we've been downgraded, not by the MPP, by international community. And that should tell you something, that there's a lot wrong. Unemployment is up, you can't see any, there's no focus, you can't see any attempts at rebuilding the economy and providing from the teeming population. And people are getting to the point of despair. So I am very confident that once we get it over with, these elections, and we have a new national leadership in place, who are dedicated to the core values of the MPP, and who will be able to rejuvenate the party base, and we go out with a solid message to the people of Ghana, I'm very confident that we'll be able to win the hearts and minds of Ghanaians, that they need to restore the MPP back to power if they want to see the good old days.
The National Executive, you are running for General Secretary, you sort of think philosophically that people matter. Whoever is there as General Secretary does matter, and that's why you're running. Then people believe that at the National Executive, which is running the party, people definitely matter. Yeah. Is it the same at the presidential level? My question really is, does it matter who becomes the MPP's presidential candidate? Does that person's personality affect the fortunes of the party?
There's no doubt at all about that. But of course, you should have seen the last two elections that we had a candidate who lost by the skin of our teeth. Of course, in the second one, it was in very, very trying circumstances. And many of us believe that if the thing had been counted properly, one-on-one, this is not a result that Ghanaians deserve. But where we are is we are not in power. We are in opposition. The NDC is in government. And that is the reality on the ground. There is no doubt at all in my mind that Akufo-Addo has, in a way, especially the way he's conducted himself in these trying times, has generated a lot of admiration. There's no doubt at all in my mind that he behaved well. The country was on the brink. If you imagine the day of the verdict, the streets of Accra were virtually empty. It was as if it was a holiday. It just needed a spark. But he provided statesmanship, he provided leadership quietly, and we are in a peaceful, stable setting. I do believe that is a lot of goodwill that has been generating for the political party and for himself. The decision as to who leads the party rests with our party faithful. I believe it's the only party that has over 120,000 people taking that decision. And it's for them to decide. But of course, I mean, people make play as to who should be and who should not. But at the end of the day, we should respect the decision of the party. And this party always does that. And the delegates will always come up with something.
But if you become General Secretary, you are the manager of that event.
Yes, not part of a team that will manage that event.
And so whatever opinion that you have and whatever sentiments that you have may sway the opinion of the delegates. Do you have any sentiments towards Akufo-Addo that you think that he should be the candidate again?
First and foremost, I think he should recognize the fact that Nana Addo has had a long history of service to this country and to the political party. Not only in political terms, in legal terms. If you're going to talk about 3 lawyers who've made massive contributions to the whole sector, he has one. I mean, his chambers has produced many brilliant lawyers, some of them attorney generals, and some of them on the bench, on the Supreme Court. So he's really paid his dues as a Ghanaian. We all know that today the struggle for democracy, he played a major role in that. And people recognize that. In our party, people recognize long service, hard work, dedication, and being a stalwart. Okay, so I also recognize that. And despite the fact that many people would like to present opposing views, at the end of the day, I believe it is the supreme interest of the party, the supreme interest of the country that matters. And that will come from the electorate. It won't come from an individual. It would never come from an individual. And I think it's also very wrong for me publicly, whether I'm in office as General Secretary or contesting to become General Secretary, to present myself as favoring one side or the other. We should respect the party. We are there to manage the party, to ensure that everybody feels a part of this our political party. It's a good tradition that we should be proud of. And so therefore, I think once the time comes, those who decide, and that is the 120,000 polling station executives, will make a decision. And let's not belittle their intelligence. They've lived through the 5 years of the NDC. They've lived through the last 2 elections. They know all the leading lights in our political party. They know our backgrounds. They know what we've done. They will take a decision, and a solid decision at that.
You and Sir John, they say, are both Kumasi boys. Why are you quarreling?
I don't think you can call this a quarrel. I mean, our political tradition is based on competition. Okay, he's had his time. I think that it is time for this party to rebrand itself. You know, I don't think the standard for politics in this country has to be a Siedun Ketia. No way. I don't believe in that at all. And our party has a certain character. And people love this party because of who we are. We cannot change just because of the way the NDC is behaving. In fact,
what about
our duty is to establish a clear distinction between the NDC and the MPP. We have to be totally different so that people can see an alternative. We cannot be the same, and we should not attempt to be the same. And that's why some of us, and a lot of us in our party, who have been unhappy with some of the utterances that have happened, you know, because it's untypical and uncharacteristic of the MPP. Okay, so I don't have a quarrel with Uswe Frie. We are very good friends. He's a senior brother to me, you know, but I think the time has come for him to take a bow, and I am well positioned. I've been press secretary to the president for 6 years, so I have a little modest knowledge of communications. Okay, I've served the party at the Electoral Commission many years through the reforms at the Inter-Party Advisory Committee. So when it gets to electoral affairs and monitoring and policing the ballot, I know how to go about it. And I've run my own political campaign as well, aside of running other people's campaigns. So I know the feel, I have a little feel of the ground operation. So those are 3 critical skills that I think I bring to the table: field operations, communications, electoral affairs. But that, in my view, will be a modest contribution to the team that is in place. We have to emphasize teamwork. It is not one person coming to do it. It is the team. It is the national leadership. It's the national leadership led by the chairman, with the secretary general running the secretariat and in touch with the organizers, ensuring that we place emphasis on the ground approach. We have to act very well with the grassroots on the ground. I think there's an overemphasis on communications these days, in my view. Communication is important in any political battle, but you need a strong machinery to carry your message. You cannot have a message in vacuum. So our ground operational effort has to be top, and I will make sure that the party becomes the vanguard, the constituencies become the vanguard of any political mobilization ahead of this campaign, in tandem with the National Executive. I will be a member of the National Executive.
You've run Nana Akufo-Addo's campaign in 2008, and you ran Alan Kyerematen's campaign. Which was more exciting?
I think you want to draw me into something that, what is important is, I believe in service to this party. And to be able to lead, you have to serve. You have to learn to serve. I served the Dubois Hene, I served J.H. Mensah, I've served Nana, I've served President Kufuor, I served Alan Kyerematen, and I want to serve the MPP. They are all MPP stalwarts. Now I want to be at the center to serve the party, to make sure that the grassroots, the activists are rejuvenated, they are excited, you know, so that that kind of dedication, that spirit of voluntarism, that you want to work for your party, you want to die for your party, the courage to stand up and be counted, that dedication to duty. You see, Paul, what we need in this country, I mean, aside of the politics, we need a new politician.
New politician.
People who are passionate about the country Ghana. And I'm very passionate about Ghana. People who care about the country more than perhaps themselves. You know, because when this country is sorted out, everybody, all of us in it, will benefit. We cannot have a situation where we have ministers saying that they are in there to earn $1 million cedis and then they'll quit. It means you are not there to serve the people.
They said $1 million.
Well, whether it's cedis or $1 million, it's still a lot of money. But is the orientation, is the mindset that worries me. And it worries me because the general populace are gradually losing confidence in the political class, the political establishment. And that is why I was horrified. And I've said that before, with what the president of the court said, calling all politicians galamsey politicians, which I thought was totally unnecessary, totally misplaced, and he should never have said that. Because once you do that, you erode the confidence that people have in politics in our country. And that is the way forward in this country. We cannot be at war. We cannot be run by dictatorships. Of course, we are human beings. We'll make mistakes here and there. But this is the best way forward for the country. And so we politicians, first of all, have to lead by example, have to be passionate about the country that we serve, and that we are prepared to sacrifice for our country. We should sacrifice for our country. Once we are sacrificing, the people, by and large, will buy into all the hardships and the austerity measures that we put across. You can't have a situation where the government is living large, and then you expect the people of Ghana to buy into austerity measures. Look at the precedents. This is the most expensive presidency. And from Mills's time, if you look at the budget of the presidency, the amount of staff at the presidency, a country of 25 million. In my view, even in our time when we had 83 ministers, some of us felt it was too large. Now they have what, 94 ministers? Some without any serious portfolios hanging out around the Jubilee House. And
Flagstaff House.
Well, we call it Jubilee House.
Mm-hmm. It's Flagstaff House.
Flagstaff House is a colonial relic. Jubilee House is the jubilee of this country, Ghana. And if they are Ghanaian enough, they know that that is not partisan. It's in celebration of our jubilee as a people. Flagstaff House is a British colonial relic that should be expunged from the books of this country.
Do you have money for this campaign? This one, General Secretary?
You'll be surprised the amount of people who are making contributions. I just had a $200 contribution from two guys in America I've never met. They sent it by Western Union. I can show you the details. Small contributions from many people. I have a group of young people on an IT platform who are creating a lot of waves, attracting funding for this. It's a tough assignment, having to visit 275 constituencies in 7 weeks and meeting 4,500 delegates. You know, that's a lot. You know, apart from the money that you need for the petrol, the honorarium that you have to give, people have to travel distances. If you go to Kintampo, and if you have any idea of the geography of Kintampo, some of the polling stations are 70 kilometers away from the center. Now, if a poor peasant farmer makes his way to listen to you, I think it's fair that at least you try to reduce the burden on him by giving him a little bit of transport. That's what we do. It's not bribery, it's nothing. It's a small token of appreciation for them coming to receive the message. And it demands a lot of resources, but it has to be done. It's a difficult thing. Politics is tough. It has to be done, and I am determined to do it. I believe I'm passionate about this country. I love this country, and I want to offer myself to our party people. They should give me the chance, and they will see a new MPP working in tandem with this new executive to restore confidence, to rejuvenate our party. Governance is a serious matter. It's no joking business. It's a serious matter. We are talking about the welfare of the 25 million Ghanaians. We cannot joke with it. We have to police this government from health to roads to defense to the economy. And if you check the figures, how far we have deteriorated, how far back since 2008, I think is sad. And it's incumbent on us that we deliver the Ghanaian. This is a redemption mission, in my view. It is a redemption mission. I am on a course with our executives to redeem this country.
Well, for those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s, Kwabena Agyepong represented an inspiration, hosting Talking Point on television and hosting sports highlights on television. In those days, he held this for a long time, and we went to the stadium, and at Accra Sports Stadium here, Kwabena, they usually would sit up the upper terrace, and it was difficult to get in touch with them. But we really admire them, and we think that he's also been a good example for the youth in politics. For that reason, here is my modest contribution to your campaign, Mr. Agyepong.
Thank you very much.
Ghana cities. On behalf of all my crew here.
I'll make sure my campaign team sends you a letter of
it's
acknowledgement.
important. Yeah, we would like it. I'll frame that.
Thank you very much.
And from all my campaign, my colleagues here, this is our contribution. We hope that you will win. We don't know whether you will win.
Well,
we are not voters.
Whilst I'm very, very grateful, I know, Paul, you are more resourceful than that.
No. But our platform is also available, and it will be available. You'll see us talk to all other contestants for the MPP. We want our viewers to have a fair idea of the people who are competing for elections in the MPP. When it comes to the 10 of the NDC, we'll do that as well. But our modest donation to Kwabena Agyepong. Thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Many thanks, and may God bless you. And have an excellent, prosperous new year.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And we hope to see you on the other side of the election.
Definitely.
Thanks for watching, and good night.